Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine, and the weather in Kisumu is also fantastic. I hope you are going to enjoy this episode. Raila Odinga yesterday embarked on a 2-day tour of Nairobi. That tour by Raila Odinga is significant, politically speaking. And we are going to look into the significance of that tour. And there was some drama during that tour. Edwin Sifuna and Robert Alai fought in front of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga got angry and Raila Odinga got annoyed.
Muko wengi namna gani? Alai! 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 Come on, that please.
And many people on this platform have actually asked me what really transpired during that trip. The truth of the matter is that Robert Alai felt that Edwin Sifuna had planned to block him or stop him from speaking during that rally. They were in Dagoretti South, and I think Robert Alai saw that the aspirants of the area, especially the MCS, were denied a chance to speak. So when the convoy reached his Dagoretti North now, in Kileleshwa, his supporters actually blocked that convoy. Majority of those who blocked Raila Odinga's convoy were actually Robert Alai supporters. So they blocked the convoy and it forced the convoy to stop. So Raila Odinga decided to address these people. But the master of ceremony was none other than Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna had the microphone and he signaled Robert Alai that he's not going to speak. So Robert Alai moved, for those who were there, that's what I've been told, closer to Raila Odinga's vehicle so as he could be given the microphone. Then that did not happen. That's when he now then decided to move to where Sifuna was so that he could grab that microphone from Sifuna. So during the moment he was trying to grab the microphone, that's when when the chaos erupted and Raila Odinga got mad. And personally, because politics is not for the weak, and you know, for Raila Odinga to come to your ward as an MCA and you are not allowed to speak, you know, so Robert Alai had to do whatever he did. But that move by Robert Alai, if you ask me, is bad for Azimio and it's bad for Raila Odinga, but it's good for him. It's bad for Azimio because William Ruto had become angry. And Kenyans were seeing clearly that William Ruto is actually angry and mad. And the Azimio brigades had started that narrative that William Ruto is not fit to lead the country because he's angry, he's bitter. And William Ruto himself confessed that indeed he is angry. So when that incident took place, Dennis Itumbi and the brigades now tried projecting Raila Odinga as also an angry guy. While if you listened to that clip, Raila Odinga is not coming out as an angry person. He's coming out as someone who is trying to stop the fight between Alai and Sifuna. Number two, it also projects the Azimio brigades as a disorganized group. You see, if you are going to have a rally and the route is already provided that Raila Odinga is going to leave this place, is going to go to this place, is going to this place. Normally in advance, it's normally agreed that the people who are going to speak is person A, person B, person C. Those who are going to wave is person A, person B, person C. Now, Raila Odinga arrived here. Nobody took charge of the program. So which means that they are disorganized. If Robert Alai was not going to speak, then it was just going to be in order for whoever was going to have the microphone just to acknowledge, oh, we have so and so, we have so and so, we have so and so. Normally, Aladwa has a very good master of that. He would always recognize these people. So I don't know, maybe Robert Alai and Sifuna has some other issues which they were sorting out at that particular time away from politics. But it portrays Azimio as a disorganized group. And lastly, it also exposes the infighting within Azimio. If these guys were not fighting, if they were not infighting, I don't think Sifuna would have denied Alai the chance to speak. And again, I don't also think that Robert Alai would have gone for the microphone the way he did. Probably would have gone, and Sifuna would have listened to him. Also, Sifuna would have told him, you know, Robert, Baba amesema hivi na hivi na hivi. So it exposes that infighting. But Robert Alai was fighting for his right. But what are some of the significance of this particular rally? Because Raila Odinga campaigning in Nairobi for 2 days is serious matter. In fact, yesterday, William Ruto was in Langata. And if you followed that rally, William Ruto's rally in Langata, it did not attract much crowd. But Raila Odinga's rally yesterday were massive. So what are some of the significance of that rally? Number one, I think Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta are so concerned about the Nairobi gubernatorial race. Sakaja is giving Polycarp Igathe had a time. President Uhuru Kenyatta's calculation was very simple. That by nominating Igathe a Kikuyu, the Kikuyus were easily going to rally around Igathe. Raila Odinga's supporters, basically the Luos, were going to rally around Igathe. So the Luos have already decided, most of them are going to rally around Igathe. But the Kikuyus are not yet. So which means Raila Odinga will now be called upon, or is being called upon, to go and look for the Luya votes. So that the Luya votes, because Sakaja is projecting himself as a lawyer, although he's not, is projecting himself as a lawyer, so that majority of those lawyers, remember the lawyers also were not very happy by the fact that Tim Wanyonyi was denied the ticket. So Raila Odinga will now have to go out of his way to try and persuade the lawyer support base to also vote for Igathe. Because if that will not happen, then Igathe is going to be in big problem. And President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga would not want a situation where they win the presidency but lose Nairobi. They want to take full control of Nairobi. In fact, President Uhuru Kenyatta has serious interest in Nairobi. So that's the first significance of this meeting. So this meeting basically is about Igathe, campaigning for Igathe in a way that by the time the supporters will realize, they shall have already voted. So that's number one. Number two, I also think that Raila Odinga is also keen on consolidating the 2.5 million voting block in Nairobi. Nairobi County has the highest number of registered voters in the country. Nairobi County is the capital city of Kenya. So Raila Odinga is looking at the possibility of winning Nairobi. In the last election, Raila Odinga defeated Uhuru both in 2013 and 2017. In 2007, he also defeated Mwai Kibaki in Nairobi. So which means Raila Odinga basically controls Nairobi. But you see, politics is a game of numbers. There is a high percentage of the Kikuyu nation in Nairobi. So Raila Odinga is actually targeting them. In the last election, for example, Raila Odinga got 828,000 votes in Nairobi, while Uhuru Kenyatta got around 791. The fact of the matter is that Uhuru Kenyatta's figures were inflated, Raila Odinga's figures were deflated. So the margin was small. So Raila Odinga is looking at a possibility of retaining those his 800,000 votes and then going out of the way to get substantial amount of votes which previously went for went to Uhuru Kenyatta in the last election. So that he hopes that instead of 52-48, this time he's hoping of, let's say, 60-40% of the votes. So that, in my view, is also significant, and that's why Raila Odinga is camping in Nairobi. And this is not going to be the last rally Raila Odinga is going to hold in Nairobi. I am sure that Raila Odinga is going to hold another major rally in Nairobi. Number 4 in my view, so number 3 in my view, I think Raila Odinga want to use Nairobi to gain momentum for the last minute campaign. You know, the campaign, how many days are now left? Very few days. So which means you need a momentum. How do you need momentum? You go to capital city, win the support of the capital city. Let people turn out in large numbers. Once they turn out in large numbers, then a perception will be created that, okay, Raila Odinga is outwitting Ruto in Nairobi, so that those undecided voters will join. So that from Nairobi, if Raila Odinga will be going another place, the momentum shall have picked. Remember, Raila Odinga was in Mombasa, massive. He was in Kilifi, and in Kilifi, his strategy was also very simple. Raila Odinga's rallies in Kilifi, in Mombasa, were basically going into the streets, into the slums. So he avoided major town, like Raila Odinga was not in Malindi town. He avoided those ones because he still hopes to go and now conclude those rallies. So I'm looking at a possibility that Raila Odinga decided to do that, because remember, in Nyanza, he's yet to come to Kisumu. His last tour he avoided. Raila Odinga is yet to go to Kisii. He was in Nyamira, and he's yet to go to Eldoret. So I'm hoping and thinking that he will also hold another major rally in Mombasa. He will go and hold another major rally in Kilifi. I don't know, but I'm trying to think that he's using this particular rally for the momentum. And number 4 in my view, I think it's about campaigning for the Azimio candidates, zoning. You see, Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta agreed to zone Nairobi. So there are areas they gave to Kenya, to Jubilee, and then there are those to ODM and maybe Wiper. So they have zoned the regions. And the zoning is intended to ensure that they have majority win in the next parliament. William Ruto is not sleeping and is also scheming with them or for them. So Raila Odinga is basically trying to campaign like he was in Dagoretti West, Dagoretti South, Dagoretti North. Dagoretti South is currently JK, and he hopes Dennis Waweru will take the seat. He hopes that Elachi will retain the Dagoretti North, just going like that, so that at the end of the day, the Azimio candidates will emerge the winners. And that's why I'm wondering why in Kileleshwa they were not willing to give Alai the opportunity to speak, because Kileleshwa is also important. And lastly, I think Raila Odinga is also keen on locking out William Ruto out of Nairobi. That is his objective, lock out Ruto out of Nairobi. How is he going to do that? He's going to do that targeting the Kikuyu votes, targeting the Luo votes, targeting the Luhya votes. As long as Raila Odinga will get majority of Luhya votes in Nairobi to vote for the ODM candidates and to vote for him, as long as Raila Odinga can get 40% of the Kikuyu votes in Nairobi, he will easily lock William Ruto out of Nairobi. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Thank you guys. And in case you're watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.